How to lose fat and keep it off science-backed strategies. What's up, everybody? It's Psyche Control here, and if you clicked on this video, you're probably like me, trying to shed some fat and get that lean, healthy physique. Honestly, who isn't? This year, I'm aiming to hit under 10% body fat for the first time in a while, which is a pretty tough goal, but I know with the right approach, it's totally doable. Now, I'm sure you've heard a million different fat loss tips, tricks, and hacks. But today, we're diving deep into the science-backed strategies that actually work. We're not talking about crash diets or unsustainable methods here. We're talking about building a sustainable lifestyle that gets you results you can maintain for the long haul. It all comes down to energy balance. Calories in versus calories out. To lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit, meaning you're burning more calories than you're consuming. Let's get into it. If you click this blog post, you've most likely set the goal of trying to lose some fat this year. Before we get into those strategies, to get everyone on the same page, give me 1 minute to explain how fat loss actually works. Alright, let's talk about dieting, but more importantly, let's talk about how to diet. The first principle I want to emphasize is the importance of a gradual calorie deficit. You might be tempted to slash your calories drastically to see rapid weight loss. But trust me, that's a recipe for disaster. When you cut your calories too aggressively, your body goes into starvation mode. Your body senses a lack of food and wants to conserve energy. This means your metabolism can slow down, making it harder to lose fat and easier to gain it back. Plus, extreme calorie restriction can lead to nutrient deficiencies, muscle loss, and just feeling plain awful. We want to feel good during this process, not miserable. So, what's the sweet spot? Aim for a calorie deficit of around 500 to 700 calories per day. Now, this might not seem like much, but remember, we're playing the long game here. Slow and steady wins the race, my friends. Now, to figure out your calorie target, you need to determine your maintenance calories. There are a bunch of calorie calculators online, but I'll link one in the description below that I personally recommend. Once you have your maintenance calories, subtract 500 to 700 and boom, that's your daily calorie target for fat loss. Keep in mind that this is just a starting point. You might need to adjust it based on your progress and how your body responds. The key is to listen to your body and find what works best for you. A gradual calorie deficit is not only more sustainable in the long run, but it also helps preserve your hard-earned muscle mass. Remember, when you lose weight too quickly, you risk losing muscle along with fat, and we don't want that. Muscle is metabolically active tissue, meaning it burns more calories at rest. So, the more muscle you have, the higher your metabolism and the easier it is to lose fat and keep it off. Think of it this way. A gradual calorie deficit is like building a solid foundation for a house. It takes a bit longer, but it's much more stable and less likely to crumble under pressure. One more thing I want to touch on is the importance of consistency. Fat loss isn't a linear process. There will be ups and downs, plateaus, and times when you might feel like giving up. Chapter 2. Leverage habits. Let's face it, dieting can be tough. We've all been there, fighting off cravings, feeling deprived, and constantly thinking about food. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be this hard? What if I told you that you could actually rewire your brain to make dieting easier and more enjoyable? That's where the power of habit comes in. Our brains are wired to automate repetitive behaviors to conserve energy. Think about it. Things you do every day, like brushing your teeth or driving to work. You don't have to think about them consciously, you just do them. And the same principle can be applied to your eating habits. One powerful habit-building strategy I want to share with you is called temptation bundling. This involves pairing something you do, like eating a healthy meal, with something you to do, like watching your favorite TV show. By linking these two activities together, You create a positive association that makes the healthy behavior more appealing. For example, if you're trying to eat more vegetables, you could make it a rule to only watch your favorite Netflix show while enjoying a big salad or a plate of steamed veggies. Another powerful habit-building technique is to optimize your environment. We are constantly bombarded with food cues, commercials, billboards, the smell of freshly baked cookies wafting through the air, and these cues can trigger cravings and make it harder to resist temptation. But the good news is, you can actually control your environment to make it work you, not against you. Start by cleaning out your pantry and fridge, and getting rid of any tempting processed foods that you know will sabotage your progress. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Then stock up on healthy whole foods that are easily accessible and ready to eat. When you're surrounded by healthy options, it makes it that much easier to make healthy choices. You can also use visual cues to your advantage. For example, you could try keeping a bowl of fresh fruit on your kitchen counter or packing your lunch the night before, so that it's ready to grab and go in the morning. Remember, building healthy habits takes time and effort, but it's one of the most valuable investments you can make for your health and well-being. Chapter 3. Have a smart post-diet plan. So, you've crushed your diet, you've hit your goal weight, and now it's time to transition into the maintenance phase. This is where a lot of people stumble, falling into the trap of going right back to their old eating habits, only to see the weight pile back on. But it doesn't have to be this way. The key to maintaining your hard-earned results is to have a smart post-diet plan in place. One that allows you to enjoy greater dietary flexibility while still maintaining your weight within a healthy range. And the first step in creating this plan is to avoid the dreaded reverse diet. Now, you might have heard of reverse dieting, this idea that you need to slowly increase your calories after your diet to boost your metabolism and prevent rebound weight gain. But the truth is, reverse dieting is often misunderstood and unnecessary, and it can even be counterproductive in some cases. Here's the thing. Your metabolism doesn't get damaged from dieting, especially not from a well-designed plan like the one we're discussing. Instead of focusing on reverse dieting, I recommend taking a more gradual and intuitive approach to transitioning out of your diet. Start by slowly increasing your calories by about 50 to 100 per week, primarily from carbohydrates and fats, while keeping your protein intake relatively consistent. As you increase your calories, pay close attention to your hunger cues, body weight, and how your clothes are fitting. The goal is to find your new maintenance calories, the number of calories you need to consume to maintain your new, leaner physique. Now, this might take a bit of experimentation, and that's perfectly normal. The key is to find a sustainable way of eating that allows you to enjoy your favorite foods in moderation while still maintaining your weight and feeling your best. At this point, I'm certain that if you do even most of what I've said so far, you will reach your goal. Losing fat and keeping it off isn't about quick fixes or restrictive diets. It's about making sustainable lifestyle changes that become second nature. It's about understanding the science behind fat loss and applying it in a way that works for you. Remember, this is a journey, not a race. There will be challenges along the way, but don't get discouraged. Celebrate your successes, learn from your setbacks, and never give up on your goals. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Surround yourself with a supportive community, whether it's friends, family, or online groups, and lean on them for motivation and encouragement. I'd like to take a minute to recommend the Macro Factor app. It's another tool that you can use to help you reach